Welcome to Revelation Unraveled. I'm your host, William Tapley, also known as the third eagle of the apocalypse and the co-prophet of the end times. The topic for today's program is part 2 of our series on chapter 7 of that great Old Testament prophet, Daniel. This is the chapter where we read about Daniel's great vision of the 4 beasts which come up out of the sea: the lion, the bear, the leopard, and the last great beast, which symbolizes the one-world communist tyranny. Today we will focus on this last beast and the personification of that beast, which is the Antichrist. Let's look at verse number 7. And after this, in the night vision, I saw a 4th beast. Remember, 4 is an end times number. And this 4th beast comes at the end, just before the millennium. And this 4th beast was dreadful and terrible, exceedingly strong. It had huge iron teeth, devouring, breaking in pieces, and trampling the others. Now the others are the 3 beasts we were talking about: the lion, bear, and leopard. It was different than all the previous beasts, and it had 10 horns. Now these 10 horns are the same as the 10 toes on the huge statue in King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. They are also the same as the 10 horns on the scarlet beast in the book of Revelation. And they are the same as the 4 horns in chapter 8. That's because 10 is a number of completion, and it means that all the world's leaders will support the one-world communist system. And 4 is also a number of completion, because, as we saw, it signifies north, south, east, and west. Now Daniel sees these beasts come up out of the sea. But as an angel explains in verse 17, the beasts also come up out of the earth. These 4 great beasts are 4 kings, which shall arise out of the earth. Now which is it? Is it the earth or is it the sea? The fact is that it is both, because these beasts not only indicate countries, but they also symbolize the leaders of those countries. The King James Version translates the word as king. The Douay-Rheims Catholic Bible says kingdoms. Again, both are correct. These symbolize kings and their kingdoms. They symbolize the last great leaders of the end times and their countries. Let's review these first 3 beasts which we saw. The lion with wings that are broken off clearly indicates England, and the wings are her colonies. We also saw that the lion rose up on its feet and was given the heart of a man. That means that the lion also symbolizes the prime minister or the political leader of England. The next beast we saw was a bear with 3 ribs in its mouth. This symbolizes end times Russia. It's interesting that the current premier of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, his name is derived from the Russian word for bear. The last of the 3 beasts was the leopard. The skin of the leopard, which is both black and white, symbolizes the racial makeup of America. The 4 heads on the leopard symbolize the 4 branches of our government: Senate, House, President, and Supreme Court. The 4 wings symbolize America's 4 military branches: Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. The leader, who is the personification of the leopard, I am convinced is the next President of the United States, Barack Obama. He fulfills Daniel's prophecies. He, in fact, is found here in chapter 7 of Daniel. He looks like a leopard because his skin is also part black and part white. Now let's read what Daniel writes about the Antichrist in verse number 8. I was considering the horns, that is the 3 we've been talking about, and another little horn came up among them, before whom 3 of the first horns were plucked up. This plucking up of the three horns indicates World War III. The three horns, which are plucked up, are the same as the three beasts: the lion, the bear, and the leopard. In other words, England, Russia, and the United States. These are the same as the three horns on the goat and the ram in chapter number 8. The two horns on the ram symbolize England and America. The single horn on the goat symbolizes Russia. As you may remember, the goat crushed the ram in World War III. These three beasts are also symbolized in the whore of Babylon and the scarlet beast that she rides in the book of Revelation. Remember, Babylon is fallen, is fallen. Those two is fallens refer to the two nations that will fall, England and America. And the scarlet beast that the whore of Babylon rides refers to international communism. Please do not listen to the false prophets out there that tell you that the whore of Babylon is the Catholic Church. That is a lie from the pit of hell. Remember, Satan does not want you to know who the whore of Babylon in the book of Revelation represents. The whore of Babylon symbolizes our own decadent Western culture. The whore of Babylon is England and America. You may also remember from Revelation that the Antichrist looks like a leopard, walks like a bear, and talks like a lion. That means that all free nations will support the Antichrist and his one-world tyranny following World War III. But what happens to the Antichrist next? Let's read the next verse, number 25. And he shall speak words against the exalted one, and shall crush the saints of the Most High. That is, Rome will be crushed by the Gentiles for 42 months. Remember, in Revelation, the holy city is not Jerusalem. The holy city is Rome. And he shall think himself able to change times and laws. The reason the Antichrist will want to change time is because he knows his time is up in November of 2017, which is the date predicted in the Bible for Armageddon. And they shall be delivered into his hand until a time, times, and half a time. The Antichrist will reign for 3.5 years, but can we shorten that reign? Let's see what Jesus says about that possibility. In verse 26, we read about the end of the Antichrist. And judgment shall sit, that his power may be taken away, and be broken in pieces, and perish even to the end. This is very similar to chapter 8, verse 25. He shall rise up against the prince of princes, and shall be broken without hand. Also similar to chapter 2, verse 44. But in the days of those kingdoms, the God of heaven shall set up a kingdom that shall never be destroyed, and it shall consume and break in pieces all these kingdoms, including the three beasts and the fourth beast. The first three beasts, England, America, and Russia, take each other out in World War III. The fourth beast, international communism, will be destroyed by God himself at Armageddon. These prophecies by Daniel about the demise of the Antichrist will be our consolation as Christians in these end times. We also will remember that Jesus said, for the sake of the elect, I will shorten those days. This shows that very few are going to be raptured out of the tribulation. Otherwise, Jesus would have no need to shorten the days. But for the sake of the elect, he will shorten those days. That means that World War III can be put off. We don't have to have a full 7 years of tribulation. In the Olivet Discourse, we know that the number 666 is defeated by the number 555. And the number 555 signifies the rosary. Now, if you would like more information, simply write to the address you see on your screen.